Hello, my name is Joe Naus, and I'm here today to show you how you can use Integrated Architecture Builder, a free software program from Rockwell, to migrate a MicroLogix 1100 to the Micro 850 platform. So to begin, we're going to hit New Project. We'll give our project a name. Then under Migration Assistance, you'll see there is a MicroLogix migration option. So we'll select this and hit Create. We will add a chassis, and we'll just use this default MicroLogix 1. And our migration type today will be MicroLogix 1100 to Micro 820 850. We will use this L16 AWA, which is an AC powered unit with AC inputs and relay outputs. As we go down the list, I'm going to choose Add a 2080 power supply. This will allow us to take the AC power in and convert it to the 24 volts we need for the processor. Now, we're going to go over to this I/O tree right here, and we'll go to digital. And this MicroLogix 1100 up here is going to have a few expansion modules, so we're going to recreate that. The first module will be an IQ16, so I'm going to left mouse click and hold and drag that into slot 1. I get a message saying the Micro 820 does not support 2085 expansion modules. Do you want to migrate to the 850? And we're going to say yes. Now I'm going to choose an OB16 next, which is a 16-point DC output card. Drag that up to slot 2. And lastly, we'll add an analog input card. So we'll say the MicroLogix 1100 has an IF4 for channel analog input. Now if I need data logging or recipe, if you check this, it's going to add another module in for that. You can see here we have the existing chassis and then what the migration chassis dimensions are to see if the footprint still looks good. And at this point, all we have to do is hit OK. Now we're going to generate hardware. And if you go to the hardware tab below, right here, this is what our current system looks like. So this is the power supply, and then the base itself. And if you look, the base itself has 14 AC inputs and 10 relay outputs, so that takes care of the I/O that was on the 1100 brick. This is our recipe module, and then these are your expansion modules that we put in to mimic what was on for the MicroLogix 1100. Now at this point, this is kind of quirky, and I'm sure it's going to get fixed in a later release. It says control power status not satisfied. Well, it is satisfied with this power supply here on the end. So this message might be concerning, but as of this revision, you would be fine because this power supply brings AC in, 24 out, and then it would get wired into this module. The field power says not required. Again, this is a little bit misleading because there is field I/O that's DC. So if we go to the field power supply wizard and we go to chassis specific, you'll see there's a couple cards that would need a power supply. So if a power supply is really old in the existing enclosure and you just want to refresh it, we'll just pick one of these 120Es, which is a 5 amp, and we'll just add our modules underneath it and hit OK. Again, if you feel like the power supply that's in the enclosure is still in good shape, and then you wouldn't need that. You would just use what's currently in the enclosure. Now at this point, if I hit Project Save and go to File, Project BOM, again, Rockwell will give you a notice saying you should double check your work, the work that the tool generates. And we got a warning present and some informational messages. So let's go to Visit Project Checker. From a hardware perspective, it's saying that this tool gives general advice on the conversion. An exact spec by spec comparison has not been done, so that still needs to be done by an electrical engineer. And then this chassis requires a control power connection. That is, again, kludgy because we already have the AC power supply on the side to power that, so this we wouldn't have to, at this point, be worried about. Under power management, again, it's kind of saying the same thing. No control power supply was selected. And while that's true, we didn't select it from the wizard. Again, the external power supply that we included at the very beginning will take care of control power. So then if we put file project BOM once more, continue to the generation of the BOM. It's going to create a listing for us. And again, here's the parts list for the new Micro 850 hardware. Then it's going to include software for Connected Components Workbench. Now this is the Pro version. There is a free version you can download that would allow you to do the conversion if you don't want to get the Pro version with all the extra options. Actually, call it Developer. And then here's the field power supply. So you can hit Save to XLS, and then you'll get a spreadsheet that comes up if you choose yes, and it'll give you the parts list. If you have any questions, feel free to contact Revere Electric. Have a great day.